Today is Tuesday, January 7th, AD 2025. This is the Africa Review in 5, written by Seth Meyers and presented by Yamikani Katunga. The Two Worlds in Africa. Of the 80 members in the South African Tsonga churches, 15 members have full-time jobs. Several of those 15 are informal jobs such as cleaning houses or selling snacks to school children, meaning that the pay is less than 2,000 rands per month or 66 rands per day. One man told me that he is 100% satisfied with the job he's had for a year because it pays 4,500 rands per month. Other members work from time to time doing hair, building, or cleaning when part-time work presents itself. But that should be compared with a friend in Johannesburg, South Africa, who told me that it would be hard for a family to live with less than 30,000 rands per month. How could it be hard to live with 10 times more than other Christians are making? This economic divide defines two different worlds, and yet the division is commonly forgotten because these different worlds within nations are usually considered and discussed under one banner. I live in South Africa, and in that country, this is the way life is. When a man says a statement like that, he's assuming a unity and quietly putting the divide on the side. If you were born and raised in Lusaka, Zambia, with your father working as a manager at the nearby mall, you probably have a very different experience from someone born just 100 kilometers away from you, where Google Maps shows huts and footpaths, but no industry or commerce. And yet thousands of people live in clusters of homes batched all around the African landscape outside the circumference of that other world. In 1952, Alfred Sauvy coined the phrase Third World to describe all the countries who did not take a clear position in World War II. The first world was America and the other good guys. The second world was the communists and their evil friends. The third world included everyone else in Africa and South America and the Middle East, so named because it was in the middle of Britain's empire. Over the last 50 years, the first world has spread rapidly as businesses developed. Poverty has decreased dramatically, but there are still, at least, two worlds. There is a world that is accustomed to getting water in containers by hand, and a world that turns on a tap. This is a point I cannot overemphasize. Two worlds exist. Why does this obvious point require emphasis? Because the cause of poverty touches the cause of the church. The world of poverty is the product of a culture, and as Peter tells us, cultures are ways of life resulting from religions. 1 Peter 1 verses 15 through 18. Poor people in many rural areas of Africa are, in a sense, victims of their religion. But in another sense, they are completely guilty because they've become willing accomplices to the fleshly lusts which are actually warring against their souls. 1 Peter 2 verse 11. The state of affairs is religious, and all matters of religion concern Christians. In other words, two numbers explain the story of Africa, 1949 and 1384. The first number is the year that the Shona people group received their Bible. Since then, 75 years have passed. The 18 million Shona speakers are yet to complete 100 years with a Bible in their language, and this is one of the largest people groups in Africa. In 1384, Wycliffe, who had translated the Bible into English, died. If you speak English, you're in a tradition that has had revelation for well over 600 years. Read the Wikipedia page for African Bible translations, and you'll see the 1900s everywhere. One people group has had the Bible for 10 times longer than others. The difference between the two worlds could be summarized with the publishing dates of the Christian scriptures. We should talk about the two-world divide because it will move us closer to the matter of the real cause. Where there is no Bible, the people are out of control. There are two worlds, though we commonly forget one of them. Religion is the most significant factor in the creation of the cultures that birthed and nursed that poor world. Finally, the church must do something about it. We're not called to end poverty or to raise the poor to high-speed internet. drilling wells is not listed in the Great Commission. But we are called to send our sons and our money and our prayers. Trees and mountains are a kind of divine shouting at atheists, and the poverty of Africa is a similarly loud call to put our treasure in heaven by devoting our lives to church planting. Do not be lulled to sleep by neglecting to think about the poor village millions. Do not accept false religion as true religion in order to soften the urgency of your smarting conscience. Do not pretend that the state of Christian faith is flourishing so that internet ministries and short-term trips will finish things up. There is an entire world that is far different because it is far more pagan. To those who sing, "The earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea." This world's mere existence is the greatest news story in Africa. And that's it for the Africa Review in 5 on this Tuesday, January 7th, in the year of our Lord 2025. Comment with your thoughts on the two-world divide, and don't forget to subscribe to the Missionary Minds podcast on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. I'm Amikani Katunga. Be not weary in well-doing.